The woods are never truly silent. They whisper and moan even on the calmest day. But at night, the woods hold their breath. They watch. I learned this the hard way. One solo camping trip, deep in the heart of the mountains, miles from any road or town. Just me in the wilderness. I thought I was prepared. Tent, food, fire. What more did I need? But the woods don't care about your supplies. They care about fear. And I was about to learn fear. As the sun dipped below the trees, the air grew heavy. The silence became oppressive, a weight pressing down on me. I was alone, truly alone. The sky bled into shades of purple and orange. Beautiful, yes, but there was an edge to it. A sense of wrongness. The shadows from the trees stretched out long and hungry. I built a fire. The flames a small comfort in the growing darkness. The woods were alive with sounds. Cracks, rustles, the distant hoot of an owl. Each one sent a shiver down my spine. I tried to ignore it. Told myself it was just animals, just the wind. But deep down, a seed of unease had been planted. Something wasn't right. As the last light faded, the temperature plummeted. A cold, unnatural wind swept through the trees, whispering secrets I couldn't understand. The woods were watching, waiting. I sat by the fire, feeding it logs, trying to keep the darkness at bay. But the darkness was everywhere. In the shadows, beyond the firelight, in the rustle of leaves, in my own heart. I thought I heard voices. Whispers carried on the wind. I turned my head, searching the darkness, but there was nothing there. Just the trees and the shadows. My mind was playing tricks on me. I was letting the isolation get to me. That's what I told myself, but the fear was a living thing now, coiling in my gut. A twig snapped close. I spun around, heart pounding. A pair of eyes glowed in the darkness, reflecting the firelight. They vanished before I could focus. Then I heard it. A sound that froze the blood in my veins. A howl, long and mournful, echoing through the trees. It was like nothing I had ever heard before, full of pain and hunger and something else, something ancient. The hair on the back of my neck stood on end. My breath caught in my throat. I was paralyzed with fear. The howl went on, seeming to tear through the very fabric of the night. Then, as suddenly as it began, it stopped. Silence descended once more, heavier and more oppressive than before. The woods held their breath, waiting for my next move. I was shaking. I wanted to run, to get away from this place. But the howl had drained the strength from my limbs. I was trapped. The eyes appeared again, closer this time. 2 points of fire burning in the darkness. They were watching me, hunting me. I could feel their gaze on me, cold and calculating. I grabbed a burning branch from the fire, holding it out like a weapon. The flames cast flickering shadows. twisting the trees into monstrous shapes. But the eyes remained, unblinking, unflinching. And with a slow, deliberate movement, they began to move, circling me, staying just beyond the reach of the firelight. I was surrounded. Terror gripped me. I was going to die here, alone in the dark, hunted by something I couldn't even see. I didn't think. I just reacted. Throwing the burning branch at the eyes, I scrambled to my feet and ran. I didn't look back. Didn't stop running until I burst out of the trees and into the relative safety of the open road. My breath came in ragged gasps. My legs burned. I didn't slow down. Not until I was miles away from that cursed place. I didn't stop running until the first rays of dawn touched the sky. And even then, I kept looking over my shoulder, half expecting to see the eyes following me. The morning light brought little comfort. The horror of the night was still fresh in my mind. The howl still echoed in my ears. The eyes still burned in my nightmares. I made my way back to my campsite, dreading what I might find. But there was nothing there. No sign of whatever had stalked me during the night. Only the ashes of my fire and the remnants of my fear. I packed up my gear with trembling hands, eager to put as much distance between me and that place as possible. But I knew, deep down, that I would never truly escape the memory of that night. As I was leaving, I noticed something strange. A set of hoof prints leading away from my campsite. But they weren't the hoof prints of any animal I knew. They were too large, too deeply embedded in the earth, and they seemed to radiate an aura of primal fear. I followed the tracks for a short distance, my heart pounding in my chest. They led deeper into the woods, towards the heart of the darkness. I knew I should turn back, that I was walking into danger. But something drew me forward, a morbid curiosity, a need to know the truth. The tracks ended abruptly at the edge of a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a single gnarled tree. Its branches were twisted and contorted as if frozen in a silent scream. And around its base, etched into the bark, were the same strange symbols I had seen in my nightmares. I stumbled back in horror, my mind reeling. I had seen enough, more than enough. Turning, I fled back the way I had come, not stopping until I reached the safety of my car. I haven't been back to the woods since that night. The memory of that experience continues to haunt me. The howl, the eyes, the hoof prints, all serve as a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks at the edge of our world. I know now that there are things in this world that we were not meant to understand. Creatures that defy explanation. And sometimes when the wind is right, I can still hear that howl echoing in the back of my mind. A chilling reminder that some things are best left undisturbed.